Welcome to a new live with me. It is the last day of June, y'all. June has been pretty crazy. Um, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about why value equals longevity. So, to get things started, let's talk about what value is. Google says that value is the importance of something, that it is one's judgment of what is important in life, and lastly, the monetary worth of something. So, why are we here? We're talking about value, right? Well, I'm noticing a lot of y'all starting more businesses, jumping back into your bags and things like that. And we're on the verge of creeping into a recession. Some people probably don't remember the '08 recession. I don't remember the actual time period, but America was in a recession a few years back, well, quite a few years back, and it looks as though we are creeping back into another one. And I know that the pandemic got a lot of us really jumping and feeling like, entrepreneurship is the way to becoming a millionaire, becoming billionaires, and things like that. And that's not always right. That's not the honest to God truth. Um, so, value is extremely important in a time where we are creeping into a recession because in order to become a millionaire, a billionaire, sell out of your products and sell out of your services, you have got to have value. Ooh. On top of having value, you have to understand that people are giving you their money, right? People are trusting you, trusting your products, trusting your services, and accepting the fact that, hey, this is going to bring value to my life. So I'm going to take you back to 2020. Ooh, remember that year? I saw a tweet one day that talked about the minute Drake and Future released the song Life is Good, life went to shit. I wouldn't say that, but after January, well, January, a lot happened. And then February hit and we was cooling, we was the country, the world was still grieving over the death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the other passengers. And then March hit, and my God, what we know now as COVID, what became a global pandemic as we know it. And guess what? We're still in that pandemic to this day in 2022. What happened during the pandemic? Well, COVID. COVID, you had multiple health scares due to people contracting COVID. You had multiple deaths due to COVID. Limited seating in public places such as funerals, restaurants, even the grocery stores. You had slower shipping and processing times. We had loss of jobs. People was getting fired jobs. People were getting furloughed. People could not, people didn't have money. Then you got things like businesses closing, um, little to no traveling. People were stuck at home. Who want to be at home 24/7? Like, not being able to just get in your car and go to Walmart. Listen, y'all, Walmart is no longer 24 hours due to the pandemic. Um, Good things came out of the pandemic, like the pausing of student loan repayments. And then we had tragedy strike within America where George Floyd's murder happened. And because of that, we had protests, we had looting. Um, and near the end of 2020, Georgia turned blue. Now, I don't talk political and things like that. I've been living in Georgia for approximately 3 years, and y'all, we turned Georgia blue. Crazy, right? So let's talk about the pandemic again. Because of the pandemic, we all had to figure out what's worth it and what's not worth it. Is it really worth not wearing a mask? Is it really worth, you know, is it really worth me going out to the club and then going to my granny house right after, knowing that there's this deadly um, illness out and about that is taking people by storm? So, with a pandemic, where value was created in was the simple fact of people having to realize, like, if you were furloughed, people that lost their jobs or were unemployed, guess what? They were able to receive unemployment. Outside of unemployment, the government also gifted Americans with stimulus checks. To my knowledge, Americans received three stimulus checks for the year of 2020. I think. And I can't tell nobody how to spend their money. I can't tell nobody how to save their money. Those stimulus checks that I received, they helped me an abundance. I worked the entire pandemic. I was not laid off. Um, I was considered an essential worker. I still hate that term to this day. And yeah, as it pertains to the pandemic, like I said, we as people had to figure out what is valuable. I'm looking on my Instagram and I'm seeing all of these boutique owners starting up businesses. Are your clothes really valuable to me if I can't go nowhere? We didn't know how long lockdowns would be. Mind you, I live in Atlanta. Never really closed down. Many big cities in the South didn't really close down. Excuse me. But places like New York City, which are big cities, oh, honey, they shut down. I mean, down. And that's a good thing. Like, many states, many cities took very great precautions. Um, but as it pertains to value, I'm here because I just want y'all to know, like, we're creeping into a recession. If the pandemic didn't hit you, as you see now, us creeping into a recession, it's hitting everybody. Because guess what? We got these high ass gas prices, high ass food prices. Now, even though COVID cases are surging again, now we gotta worry about this damn monkeypox. Then we gotta worry about the housing markets. You gotta worry about rent prices. Um, and just last Friday, the overturn of Roe v. Wade. I'm not getting political about anything. I believe the overturn is bullshit, but that's not here nor there. But the recession is going to hit much harder than the pandemic, in my opinion. Because it's dollars, it's money, it's funds. People are going to go back to where they were in 2020, where they have to figure out what is worth it and what is not worth it. So, going back to why we're here. If you're starting a business now, if you're starting a brand now, you need to focus on how is your products, how are your services valuable to your audience. I understand one of the biggest goals an entrepreneur has is they want to make money. We want to make money. But guess what? If the value isn't there, my dear, the people will not buy. You will not sell out. You will have an overload of products that are just sitting there where you have wasted your money. You will have services that people don't want. You will have services that people don't see value in. Value is important. Remember, value is the importance of something. It is the it is somebody's judgment as to what is important in life. And lastly, it is the monetary value, the monetary worth of something. I want y'all to understand that in this recession, people are not about to play with their money. Just like with the pandemic, we're going to see an influx in entrepreneurs. We're going to see an influx in influencers on social media because everybody out here trying to get that money. Everybody out here trying to get that bag. And guess what? You're not the only one. So with value comes differentiation. I am a business consultant. I help entrepreneurs rebuild their business foundation and strengthen their value proposition. In layman's terms, I'm helping you stand out. I'm helping you be the best at what you do. Be the best at selling hair, be the best at selling loungewear, be the best on YouTube, be the best on TikTok. I help you. In order for me to help you, I have to be able to convey that via my website, via my consultation calls, via social media, via being here on Instagram Live. Take that into consideration. Stop thinking that posting these fly outfits is going to bring in dollars. Pictures do not bring in dollars. Pictures do not bring value. Don't say just shop now. Don't say, I'm having a sale. Like, people get tired of being sold every single day. I get tired of it. Even as an entrepreneur. I get tired of seeing people sell. I get tired of people not sharing a story. I get tired of people not sharing a background. I get tired of people not sharing the behind the scenes. I get tired of people not sharing the struggle. Y'all, we still in a pandemic. Life ain't all that easy. Life ain't all that great right now. It's very hard for now. Oh, let's talk about this, y'all. Now we have pilots. They are protesting against working because they feel, to my knowledge, they feel like they deserve more money. Listen, y'all, it's not funny, but people are realizing their worth. If the pandemic ain't told you nothing, people are realizing their worth. You as an entrepreneur need to realize your worth. You need to be able to convey your value. If you cannot convey your value and you start a business today and you're launching and things like that and your content is ass, your content is worthless, if you spent $2,000 in inventory, you're not going to triple that in sales. You're not going to be able to make that back. You're going to be caught up in one of these Instagram pansy schemes where you're trying to flip $2,000 to make $200,000. It's not going to happen. So, y'all homework, as well as my own homework, is to figure out what makes you valuable. Going back to the title of this live, value equals longevity. There were so many businesses that I saw being started during the pandemic that they are thriving now. And they were thriving during the pandemic. You want to know why? Because they touched on people's pain points. If you were making masks then, masks for your face, right? People needed those. The hard part about selling masks during the pandemic, early in the pandemic, was because of the shipping and the processing times. Because what was the problem back then? The problem back then was that Amazon workers didn't want to work. FedEx workers didn't want to work. UPS drivers didn't want to work. Hell, the Federal Postal Service people didn't want to work. Why? Because why do I need to work? And it's not my thinking, but this was a lot of people's thinking during the pandemic is, why should I work 40 hours plus a week for people that's sitting at home on their asses buying any and everything on Amazon? What people wanted those unemployment checks. People wanted those stimulus checks. People wanted all of that free money. Now, I'm not somebody that knows the law fully. I'm not somebody that knows whatever these rules and stuff are fully, but we are reaping the consequences from those stimulus checks. People are reaping the consequences of those unemployment checks and things like that. So, getting back on topic, as an entrepreneur, it is your job to create value with your business, especially online. People get tired of being sold to every single day. Every single post doesn't have to say buy me, click here to shop, shopping 50%. Like, people get tired of that. There are other salesy ways that don't have to appear to be salesy. It's just very important that you have value. Like, the longevity and value is people realizing that they need it, people realizing that they want it, people realizing that they can't live without it. When the pandemic, first started, I don't know who caused the frenzy, but people were literally fighting over toilet paper. Toilet paper. People were fighting over hand sanitizer. And mind you, these were people that were sitting at home. Not people getting up, having to get on the highway every single day. Not people who were literally physically going into a building. These were people that were home from the end of March up until probably last year. So take that into consideration. If you are a credit repair specialist, don't talk about the money that people can have with credit, because those are two different things. Don't talk about the cars that they can get. That is true based off of credit, but talk about the stress relief that having great credit does. Let me tell you, if you have never had a 700 credit score, you don't know what you're missing out on. Great credit is like an open door. You walk into businesses and establishments, and these people got their arms open. When they can see your credit after typing in your information, child, you're God's favorite in their eyes. So no matter what it is that you do, I don't care if you selling lingerie, sell a fantasy, sell a dream. Let's talk about Miss Rihanna. Mother Rihanna. She goes right now because she a new mommy. But something that each and every last one of her businesses, her ventures has done is that it includes somebody. It doesn't exclude anyone. From the makeup, which is probably my favorite brand of them all, of hers. With Fenty Beauty, you got an entertainer who jumped into a market that was completely saturated, which we hate that word on this side of town. We hate the word oversaturated. But she jumped into the makeup game and dropped 50 foundation shades. If you have no idea what foundation shades are, that is what we apply on our faces. 50. Do you know before what year was that? Like 2017? You can go in a makeup store and probably the highest amount of shades that they had was about 10. This lady dropped 50 in the first launch. 50. And y'all asking why she a billionaire? Come on, y'all. When it came to her lingerie, how she knocked Victoria's Secret out the box with Savage X Fenty included all sizes. Not just size 0 and XX extra small. She added 4X, 5X. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard that is? Don't ask why she's a billionaire. Seriously. And taking it back, most of our favorite entertainers are millionaires and billionaires, not because of their actual jobs. It's investments, it's collaborations, it's I think I said investments, but it's more than one thing. But don't get me wrong, you got to start somewhere. So, as an entrepreneur, as a brand individual, as an influencer, start somewhere. So, let's say you are a singer, okay? You can start singing. You can start booking your shows. You can start singing at these, graduations, these um, balls and proms and stuff. But take it a step further. Maybe you are so creative. Maybe you are a great songwriter. That's where real money is. Maybe you actually play instruments. Even more money. Let's say you even produce. You know how to 1-2. Let's say you can be a backup dancer. Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. When it comes to value, you have to keep yourself in mind, but you have to keep those around you in mind. But also, read the room. Read the room. Now, I speak more in reference to business. I don't really talk about history, even though I love history. I don't talk much about music, but I love music. I don't talk much about movies, but I love the arts. I love film. But last Friday, if you are a female based brand, a female empowerment brand, if you own something specific to women's health, women's bodies, the life of individuals, and you chose not to speak about Roe v. Wade, or giving resources for women in certain states and just helping women in general, you missed out on valuable, not even content, but you missed out on sharing something very touchy with your audience. That right there, being vulnerable, being, conscious of the room, the world around you, is value. Me talking about the pandemic. Everybody talk about the pandemic. Everybody talk about how they making hundreds and thousands of dollars because of what they did in the pandemic. But guess what? Now we creeping into a recession and we're still in a pandemic. COVID ain't going nowhere. COVID is now surging again. And now we got something new called the damn monkeypox. That the minute people really start getting the monkeypox, America is going to be quicker to get vaccinated faster than they did with COVID. You want to know why? Because monkeypox is a more vanity type of disease. It's a vanity type of sickness. There's physical bumps that you can, visual bumps and stuff that you can see. Whereas with COVID, people was walking around asymptomatic and didn't know. That's not their fault. That's not anybody's fault. But people had it and didn't know. Versus with this monkeypox, oh, now I got little spots of rashes and stuff all over me. Oh, people gonna want to get vaccinated then. People not gonna want the world to shut down for that. People will wear their masks then. They gonna find any way to hide the insecurities that they don't want people to see. Getting back on track, like I said, value equals longevity. Value can create the billionaire, the millionaire, the trillionaire you are seeking to become. All it takes is stepping into what you are desiring to do and really excelling in it. Rihanna stepped into this huge ass market and released 50 Shades. And what happened after that, y'all? Now all of a sudden, all of these Revlon, who I think just went bankrupt, oops, actually now they can release 50 Shades randomly. They all thought that black girls were NC45. And if you wear makeup, you know NC45 Mac and all that. Da, 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 da. But yeah, like they all just assumed we're all the same color. They got all these white shades, several shades of white, and like 2 or 3 shades for black girls. That was something that was game changing, but also a relief for the black and the black community, as well as women of color in general, women and men of color, because men wear makeup as well. But yeah, so I'm just here to tell y'all, step up your value, step up your content. There's plenty of money out there, even though we are sliding into a recession. Just realize that if you're not making people want what you have, they're not going to buy what you're selling. You gotta give what needs to be given. I can't tell anybody how to price their services, price their products, but like I keep saying, value. If you are selling a service as a business coach, right? For $3,000. Okay, fine. $3,000. What's all included in that? I talk to you for 1 hour. That's it. $3,000 for 1 hour. Not $3,000 for 1 hour for 6 weeks, 10 weeks. $3,000 for 1 hour, 1 day. I don't get a workbook, a worksheet, a recording of the call, nothing. I'm telling y'all, focus on I'm not even going to say including. Focus on forcing value into your services and your products. Without it, your business will not last long, or you're going to be industry hopping. You're going to be jumping from a virtual assistant to a boutique owner to a business coach to a financial advisor to a singer to a tap dancer to an actress. Value equals longevity. I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I will catch y'all next month. It was good talking with y'all. I'm just telling y'all, the recession is on its way. These products, these services, they need to include value. They need to be valuable. If they don't have value, baby, we're not spending our money with you. I'm not sharing your post if it doesn't have value. I'm not sharing your content if it doesn't have value. I'm not putting my audience onto your crappy products, your crappy services, if I don't see the value. I'm from the show me stage. You gotta show me. I'll catch y'all next month. Bye.